welcome to the Typical Arsenal Show, and you're here with your host, Ray, and I'm joined tonight with Alex and Freddie. Hi guys, welcome. Thank you for giving up your time on this sunny evening. Jesus Christ, I've been sweating like a madman today, boys. It's been a hectic one, honestly. Listen, chaps, I want to get straight into it because time, I'm trying to keep to a time constraint, and the last podcast was coming on 2 hours, so we're going to try and chop that down, but keep all the goodness, So we're going to get right into it, man. I want to know your thoughts, and maybe I'll start with yourself, Freddie. I want to know your thoughts generally on how things are post-lockdown, and maybe you can touch on pre-lockdown in regards to Arteta and the small sample size that we've got.
To be fair, if I'm honest with you, pre-lockdown, I was actually really excited. Like, I was thinking, do you know what? Arsenal might even actually sneak in for a Champions League spot here. And then, obviously, Arteta got the corona, and then we went to lockdown.
Yeah.
And here we are. Back on the other side.
It's been a madness. I tell you, brother, it definitely has. But keep going. Speak to me.
So, like, obviously, it's what? We're 2 games in now, 3 games in. And after the second game, honestly, I just thought, that's it for us. Season done. I can't see any way back.
Yeah.
From it. And I've just, do you know what? I'm just lost for words when it comes to Arsenal, I'm not even joking.
You know what, Freddie, it's been that way for the last 4 or 5 years, in my opinion. You know what, furthermore, if you want to go deep, this is my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I think from the day we lost 8-2, we lost a little bit of pride in our club. Yeah, you see that day, we started taking those major L's against the top 6. And if you look at our record against the top 6, Freddie, it's painful.
When was the last time we won?
It was something like 25 games and 0 wins.
Yeah.
It's 0.
It's a
sick
lot.
Joke. Anyway, you know what? Not to lead you in any way, shape, or form, Alex, I'm going to bring you in. Please, just give us a little summary on how you're feeling about Arsenal right now, pre and post lockdown,
Freddie summed it up, mate. Now, you know what? I always try to find the positives in Arsenal. Arteta come in and it looked like the squad got behind him pre-COVID. And then we were starting, there was a glimmer of hope coming through. And then, lockdown come in. I don't know if people just stopped training or what it was, but we come back first 2 games, 2 losses. And fair enough, the City game, I'll take that result. We're a level below them, but that other game, Brighton, like, speechless.
Where'd you go with that, innit?
I didn't know how to react. Like, I was thinking, bottom tier finish. Like, let's hope that we can keep ourselves where we are, and then I feel like we might even. For me, it's going to go 2 ways. We're either going to do a United, have no European football, and crumble again, or we focus on the league and try push for that top 4 finish. If the league's the only thing we've got to focus on, there's no reason why we should be finishing below the top 4. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I think you might be an optimist, Alex. and you know what? The funny thing is, I think we got a pessimist on the show just to balance it out. And you know what, Freddie, I'm going to bring you back in. Yes, fantastic. I tell you what, let's start to focus in then. Let's start to focus in on the performance. So we played against Southampton at St. Mary's, correct?
Yes.
And, over the years, it's not been a happy hunting ground for Arsenal, let's be honest. I can remember one on New Year's Day, I think it was, when we were going for the league. I think the season Mesut Ozil came to town. And, that crushed us. So, Freddie, listen, I'll come back to you. And I think what we'll do is hone in on the specifics of the game, should I say. And we'll talk about the first half. So how did you think we started?
I think we started pretty well. I think we was, from what I saw, we was in control of the game, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think the positives for me, which I thought I'd never ever say, is Xhaka. I think he controlled the game. And he allowed exactly. And I felt he allowed others to flourish as well. It just looked more like, if you look at the Man City game, he went off early, didn't he? The Brighton game, we were all over the place, and it just seemed like we were just more of a structured team. Yeah. Whether Arteta had a word with them or not, but it just seemed a lot more,
solid.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. You know what, Alex, I'll bring you in. So first half, and maybe it's a good point to bring in the conversation about Eddie Nketiah, our young striker that's come through the ranks. And I will say, I've been fighting the corner of the young boys, fighting the corner. I've been getting battered on these podcasts and in the WhatsApp group as well. People killing Nketiah, but he's come good today, or yesterday, should I say. And give me a little flavour of what you thought his performance was like in the first half in particular, where he got his goal.
But he come with the hunger. He come with the hunger. The reason he got his goal was he was hungry for it. Like, he pressed that ball. Anyway, I'm not naming names, but I am. Lacazette, Aubameyang, they don't have it any. For me, from what I've been seeing, that spark's missing. But Eddie's come on, the same way you've been getting slated, across the social media. Everyone's talking about our young boys, how they're not doing their bit. But he was obviously out there to prove a point, and for me, he proved it perfectly. He come in, what he had to do, got us on the front foot, and I think from that, we was controlling from before, but from that goal forward, for me, that the performance looked a lot more comfortable. It looked like, okay, we've got that 1-0, we're able to play our game now and focus on different parts. But for me, he was a massive, massive pinpoint for that performance for me personally. As well as Xhaka. I'll put it in there. Xhaka surprised me, man.
Am I living in the twilight zone? Am I? You know what? Freddie, talk to me. I don't understand. We had a podcast, and it will be coming up soon. It was a special one on the midfield, and we focused purely on the players in there and what a good midfield should look like. And it's kind of painful. And I made the point again in the WhatsApp group today that we went from a magician like Santi Cazorla to Granit Xhaka.
Yeah.
It's in the name, granite. It's stiff. It's rock solid. It's not fluid. That's what you need in the midfield. Some fluidity.
You know what? The problem is, right? Is the fact that he's all we've got. So that's who you're going to lean towards. Yeah. Because if you look through the squad, there's not much in there really.
No. Not in the midfield anyway. Not in the midfield.
Torreira, and there was a lot of hopes pinned on him, but I'm not sure what's happened to him.
Yeah.
And,
I'll tell you what, Freddie, let me direct the conversation, because we're talking about the first half, aren't we? And I wanted to bring up a little highlight in the first half from Aubameyang. Just wanted to get your opinion. As a world-class number 9, is he supposed to bury that chance?
Do you know what? I looked at it about 4 times.
Okay.
No, he should have buried it. No, let's not even beat around the bush. He should have buried that. He should have buried that.
You know what I will say is, in FIFA, when you press I don't know who it is, what button it is for you, but for me it's like the L2 button.
Exactly.
The L2 button. You go for the finesse. If you go for the finesse, you've got to bury it, innit? You've got to. But what I will say, the keeper did make a decent little save. There was a little.
He did, but that's Aubameyang territory, man.
Yeah.
Thierry Henry, classic. Open up, mate. No, open up your body, slot that in. There's no excuse for that, to be fair.
So you know what? Without sidetracking too much, though, and it's a conversation, because Aubameyang started in the game and started in a position that more and more frustrates me. And again, I don't want to lead the conversation, Freddie, but I'm going to stay with you for a second, and now I'll bring you in a sec. Aubameyang on the left. I don't know how many games it is without a goal now, and fair enough, he's getting in the positions, he's getting chances still, but is he getting enough chances? Is he as effective as he would be through the middle? Like, talk to me. It's a big call. Nketiah through the middle, Aubameyang on the left. Big call. And it's not the first manager. That's the
thing. I don't know why they keep doing it, to be fair. But because when Arteta first started, it was working because it seemed like Aubameyang was just getting into positions and scoring. Now I'm looking at it, he just looks like a winger that's tracking back and helping out defending and just getting frustrated. Yeah. So a decision has to be made, to be fair. Like, you're either moving back in the middle, you know. Yeah. I really don't know. I'm as frustrated as you are.
You know what? A point Sam made in one of the previous podcasts was that, you know what, Arteta's looking to the future, so he's trying to blood these players with what we've got left. Realistically, it's a pre-season. It's an extended pre-season, you know, for these chaps. So he might as well bed them in. But
it's almost as if he knows what's going to happen. He knows that maybe those guys are off. So me invest in Eddie.
Yeah, that's a good point you make, Freddie. It's a good point. Yeah. You know what, Alex? I'll give you a little opportunity to have a little conversation about Aubameyang, but I want to bring you back and start talking about the second half of the Southampton game. About Aubameyang on the left and Aubameyang in general. Where are you? Is he signing a contract? Is he going? If he's going, where is he going?
You know what? I'd love for him to sign a contract, because last season he was massive for us. A bit of that sort of magic has disappeared this season. I don't know if it's the change, you know, halfway with the management side of it, if it's the fact that he's more comfortable playing up top. You know, it's a lot of things that come into it. But for me personally, I'd love for Aubameyang to sign a new contract. He gives us that danger up top. Like, let's face it, he's not technically the best, but put the ball in front of him, bar yesterday's opportunity, 9 times out of 10 he's putting it in the back of the net for us. So that's the type of person we need in the club, for me, right?
All right, question, Alex, and let's play devil's advocate. Yeah, you're Aubameyang, I'm Arsenal. Yeah. What is it going to take for you to sign? Arsenal that are sitting in what position in the league? Yeah, with no midfield to feed him for all those beautiful runs that you make. Furthermore, sorry, I'm talking to you, Aubameyang. What's it going to take? How much money for me to give the rest of my career away?
I don't think it's a question of money with him. I don't think it's a question of money with him. I think.
Well, Alex, I'll interject there. Sorry, but it is a question of money, because it's either he wants money in the bank, to put up with the nonsense, or he wants investment in the squad. Either way, it's a question of money.
I think for him, he wants to be playing back in Champions League football, not even Europa League football. I was laughing at myself.
How do you do that, Alex? How do you do that realistically, though, in the position we're in?
That's the thing, because if we sell him and the money we get for him, realistically, who are we attracting?
It's a mad one. It is. But listen, let's bring it back down to Southampton, because Aubameyang is an ongoing conversation, and I think it will come out in the wash in regards to what's happened in that scenario, because it's been a long time. You know, it's been another one of our sagas. You know, but one of many. Second half. How do you think we managed the game, Alex?
Listen, all I'll say is praise the Lord for Emi Martinez. we come out. For me, first half left me excited. I was thinking, okay, and then it's typical with us, isn't it? It's typical Arsenal. We come out. I don't know if we're too excited or if it gets the better of us, and there's always 10, 15, 20-minute period of the match where we lose all composure. Yeah. And it's a good thing it was Southampton yesterday, because another one of the teams, any of the teams above us, would have capitalised, and we would have probably been either in a draw or on the back foot.
Oh yeah.
But there's just that period of time in every game on the second half where we just lose all composure, and it's frustrating to see, because it's like everyone switches off for a quick second and it's too late.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you what, it's a good point you make about the defense, and this is where Freddie, I'll bring you back into the conversation. Rob Holding, interesting performance. Again, I'm not gonna listen. It's one performance, so I'm not gonna get on my high horse. But again, another player that I've been advocating for, because I think he does have composure on the ball at the back and can play out from the back, and that's what you need from a centre back at Arsenal. Some indifferent performances beforehand, but today was a bit better, no?
I think with Rob Holding, I think where he's been out injured for a while, I think it's taken him a bit of time to come back. And I think he's needed a good sort of run of games to kind of get into the swing of things, because he's come in certain games and he's just locked off the pace.
Yeah.
But I think yesterday, to be fair, I think he had a very good game. For me personally, he was my man of the match, I think.
It's a good shout. It's a very good shout.
He just looked, like you said, he looked composed. He looked even solid, to be fair.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you know what? He's got an opportunity. He definitely has an opportunity with the way the centre-back situation is at Arsenal. If he stakes a claim in these next, or however many games it is, 7 or 8, 9 or 10 games, he's got an opportunity to stake a claim as you know, somebody in the reckoning for starting next season. You know? So I think I was quietly pleased with his performance. So just moving on, and I'll just send this through to the guys. Yeah, so you've got it. Let's talk about Saka, and I'll bring you both in. So we'll have a general conversation, because I think we're looking at a gem right now, and there's a couple of ways of talking about the topic of Saka. You can talk about the contract, because for me, that's very concerning. And I think it shines a light on a club that doesn't look good at all, you know?
Yeah.
Or we can talk about the positive side of things, which is his performances and his flexibility. Maybe outside of the right-hand side, I didn't like that performance. I think that was against Man City, but maybe it's against City, you know? So maybe you give him his dues for that. But where do we go with it, Freddie? Where do you want to take it? The positive or the negative? The pessimist or the optimist?
They need to get that done, even more than anything, to be fair, because he is our future right about now. You know, because if they don't, you're going to end up losing him to Liverpool.
Mate, to Dortmund, to City, to Chelsea, like any team would snap him up. Any team.
He's a fantastic player, a fantastic little player.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's God's gift to us. So we need to do something with it and get that contract signed.
Yeah, I agree. Alex, how are you feeling about the Saka situation? Contracts, let's talk about his performances. How you see it?
I'll speak about the positives and the negative. The only negative is the contract for me.
Yeah.
Like, why are we holding off? These are players that come August, if we've not reacted, they're gone.
This is the thing, Alex, and this is why I said to you, it shines a light on a bigger problem at Arsenal about the ongoing drama and saga that is contract negotiations. It's piss poor. It's pathetic. If we can't get an academy product that's been at the club since 8 years old to sign a contract after coming into the first team, for the first season. Okay, he got a couple of appearances last season, but this is his first fully fledged season, and already we're worried about losing him.
I was reading something earlier around Trent Alexander. He similar situation to Saka. He joined when he was 6, played all the way through, and he's just lifted his first trophy. Like you say, if we can't even lock down players that we've produced, it's a bigger issue than looking at the squad and Arteta. It's a whole new picture.
Yeah. So listen, I want to bring you back in, Freddie, and start to talk about how we assess Arteta over these 3 games. Yeah, we've had a sample size from pre lockdown, and it was interesting. And a lot of people have been saying, don't judge him on 3 games. He's got, but I'm judging him on these 3 games plus those games previous. That's my sample size that I'm working with.
Yeah.
Okay. Me personally, but how are you judging it? How are you assessing it?
To be fair, the first half pre COVID lockdown, I was thinking, Arteta's that guy. But since he's come back,
wait, Freddie. Can I just pull you on that statement? I have to pull you because I'll be frank. I was of the opposite opinion. I was very concerned. I was very concerned
when he first started.
Yeah, when he first started.
Do you know what it is? I thought he brought a bit of stability to the team. Like I felt we was defending a little bit better, and I like that because that is our problem: is defending. So if you can get a couple little clean sheets and get us defending, then you're on the right track.
So then he gets the state. No, this is where I pulled you, isn't it? So then that makes him the guy. Does that make him the guy?
Listen, when you had Unai Emery for how many months, anyone can be the guy. So I was just thinking, do you know what? He's on the right track. So I was thinking, things are getting better. It can only get better. That's exactly what I was thinking. So obviously we've had the lockdown, we've had the break, and we've come back. And I felt like it feels like he's lost it all. Like it feels like he's come back confused with the situation. Like, some of his decisions, some of his team selections. Yeah. It's just kind of thrown me off.
Yeah. I guess you have to play devil's advocate. Lockdown is gonna have an effect. Of course, you're a new manager, you're trying to instill new measures, new cultures, new ways of training, and then all of a sudden you get locked down. So those habits then start to get a bit looser. I can understand that. But again, we've got to judge him on what we've seen so far. Alex.
Yes.
Arteta.
Similar situation. Like I said earlier, I think when he first come, the team got behind him. Performances started to look a bit, better. I thought he was bringing the best out of certain players, and then lockdown hit. Like you say, it is tough for every manager, but team selection a couple of times has left me a bit cringing almost at the start of the game. I'm looking at it thinking, I don't know about that one. But for me, I think the end of the season needs to come. The sooner the better. And regroup and let him, whatever he was working on pre-COVID, let that come back out. Because honestly, I don't know what's happened during these last 3-4 months, but it's taken its toll.
You know what? And I'm going to clarify what I said to you earlier, Freddie, in regards to I had my suspicions or my worries or concerns from the beginning. And even during the good performances, if you like, is the fact is, this is a new manager. And I don't care if you've been ordained by Jesus. This is football, innit? Yeah, you need to have a certain number of games under your belt to manage Arsenal. Yeah, let alone Arsenal in crises. So how this guy can be seen to be, I don't know, the Messiah that's going to come because he's been ordained by Pep. Yeah, okay, he's been ordained by Pep, but look at the resources that Pep has. Yeah. We ain't got. They're not going to back him like that. Let's be realistic. So for me, it's the long term. I think it's the long term. It could be the right choice, but short term, I think it's a terrible choice. To be honest. But that's not me saying get rid of Arteta. If I'm being honest, that's just me personally. But listen, guys, it's been good chat. I'm concerned we're ticking on for the break, so I think we'll take it now. And on the other side, we'll come back with some Guendouzi chat because it's getting spicy. It's getting very spicy. I don't know if you're up to date, but there's a lot of chat on that one. So we'll meet you on the other side, guys. This is the Typical Arsenal Show, and you're here with Ray, Alex, and Freddie, and we are going for the break. You're back with the typical Arsenal show, and you're here with your host Ray, Alex, and Freddie. And we are going to dive right back into it, chaps. And it's Guendouzi, chap. You know what, chaps? As we were talking about the running order, I forgot to put down the most important feature in the show. We must not forget it. It is Ozil Watch. And the fans have been desperate to see that one. Desperate. So we are going to see what he's been up to this week. Every goal, every assist, every pass, every touch. We're going to have his heat map projected onto the screen as well. So that's going to be exciting times. Anyway, listen, Guendouzi. And Alex, I'll start with you. Guendouzi, where do we start? Give me a general feeling on Guendouzi and his performances over the last 2 years. We're 2 years into a 4-year contract, and according to Sanyei, this is the time where you make the decision. So just bear that in mind with your assessment, yeah?
Listen, for me, he is, should I say, he's inconsistent. I hate to be the negative guy, but one performance, he's like, we signed a gem here. And then you see 2 other games and you're like, that can't be the same player. But look, overall, I think he's done us probably more good than bad, in my own opinion. As far as would he be that badly missed if he was to go, I wouldn't know how to answer that question.
Yeah, it's a good point you make. It's a very good point you make. Freddie, Guendouzi, how are you feeling about him?
He gets on my nerves. Seriously. Do you know what?
Don't hold back, Freddie.
If we can cash in on him, I think we should. Because, don't get me wrong, he was like a little bit of a breath of fresh air.
Freddie, at what price?
30 mil.
Okay.
I would take.
Okay.
Yeah, 30 mil.
30 mil.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, my assessment of Guendouzi is I'm still yet to know what his talent is. What makes him stand out from the rest? What is the attribute that has made him elite? You know, what does he bring to the team and the team structure, furthermore? I think he's a player that brings a lot of legs and a lot of energy and a lot of industry, but doesn't function in the system at all.
Yeah.
You know? And coming from watching, 15, 20 years of Wenger ball, where we appreciate the weight of pass, we appreciate 1 and 2 touch football. To see Guendouzi running with the ball, taking 10 touches, 50 touches before he then runs to the player to give him a 2-yard pass, frustrates me. And then you're getting challenged. And the other habit that frustrates me with Guendouzi, without going into a rant. Let me caveat this. Like you said, Alex, he's done a job for us over the last 2 years. He's brought industries, he's brought a bit of grit, and I like the determination at the Brighton game to at least say something to this Mopé guy. At least say something. Yeah? But I'll be honest, the guy likes to draw fouls, yeah? And it's become so obvious the referees are finding you out. And I'm struggling now to see what what you bring to the team. And that's my issue with Guendouzi. Alex, how much are you selling for? How much? I've got my checkbook here.
If we were to get...
I'm Everton Football Club, for instance. Everton Football Club. We're saying we want him. We've done business before. How much is it going to take?
Listen, if we could squeeze... Listen, for 35, I'll even include David Luiz and I'll drive them over. Yeah, there's something with the long curly hair. It just don't sit well. I'll take them both up there, Ray. How about that?
Yeah, that's a shout, my friend. That is a very good shout. Listen, I do want to touch back on some of the young players as well, because I think it would be remiss of me not to mention Willock as well, actually. Freddie's not having it. Freddie's like, no. What do you mean, Willock? I got to shout Willock because I think pre-season, a lot of people were screaming Willock. a lot of people were screaming Willock. Yeah, I wasn't one of them. I'll be frank with you. I'll be honest. Like, I kind of thought we would see someone else flourish, like a Smith Rowe or a Nelson or a Saka. But yeah, people are screaming him, and it's kind of gone off a cliff. Let's be frank. And another one of those kind of midfield players, like many of our midfield players, furthermore, that are jack of all trades, master of none. You know, and and you know, final third kind of end product is a little bit tricky as well with Willock. But on the positive, Freddie, on the positive with Willock, he's grabbed the goal. He's anticipated. He's sharp. He's come on and he's made an impact. As a young player, as an academy product, we've got to be proud of that, no?
Yeah. You know what? He can score goals. We've seen that. We've seen him score a few goals. But again, it's hard. If you start, you know, putting all the eggs in Willock's basket, you know, like, Arteta's given him so many chances. And honestly, I haven't seen nothing from those chances to say he warrants a place in the team.
Yeah.
Or what he's going to bring to the team.
Okay.
So.
Not for you?
Nah, not for me.
How much is it going to take for him to be taken off your hands?
See, I'm not screaming to sell him.
Okay.
But if you are asking, I'd say Willock probably we could get about 25 for you.
Sorry. Come on. I don't think so. That's not even a disrespect to Willock. I respect Willock's hustle. He's doing his thing in it, but 25 mil is I don't know. Alex, talk to me. 25 mil?
Listen, the market is crazy.
Yeah. He's English as well.
Have I got my head in the sand? Am I the one that's kind of out of touch there? Willock for 25 mil, yeah?
25 is a stretch, I do believe, but...
Okay, question. All right, you know what? This is the question. This is the question. Would you pay 25 million for Willock?
No.
No way. No way. Exactly.
But we're talking about selling on.
All right, so you know what? Let's be more realistic then. Let's talk in real terms. Willock, next season, what's your plan for him? Is he a rotation player? Is he a Europa League or Carling Cup player? Is he a loanee? Or is he you know what? He's on the transfer list.
Loanee.
Sold.
Loanee. He needs a loan. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you what, Alex, I'll pose you a question just in regards to the young players because I want us to keep watching this batch of players. I think if not Saka, if not Martinelli, I might even throw in a Smith Rowe, might be players that we see in the future. But you know what? We've been having to cut costs at Arsenal. Players have been taking a cut. Scouts have been let go. Yeah, the tea lady's under pressure. Now we're saying to you, you've got to let go of one of our academy products.
Whoa.
Which one are you letting go of?
That's that's a hard question.
It's a realistic question. They're not all gonna, Alex. They're not all gonna make it. That's the God's honest truth.
I know, but you know what? Looking at it, I think you know we'd be silly to get rid of the likes of Nketiah. I even think it'd be silly to get rid of Maitland-Niles. And you know what? For me, right now, I'd probably boil it down to between Willock and I don't know how this is going to go. Reece Nelson, simply because I just don't see where he's fitting into the squad. Okay. That's the only reason why. Not for his talent, not for anything to do with the way he plays, but I just don't think he can fit into the squad. And obviously, he's still a youngster, so we're not going to build. He's not good enough to build a squad around him. That's the only reason why I put them two on the firing line.
Okay. I'll pose that same question to yourself, Freddie. Alex kind of sat on the fence there. I asked him for one player and he gave me two. Cheating. Come on, play by the rules, Alex. Come on. No, but on a serious note, I'll come back to you on that, Alex. Don't worry. I'm going to push you for that. Freddie, though.
Me personally, I would say Maitland-Niles.
Okay. Okay.
Reason being, because he upset me, right? Because he could have been that right back. And he kicked up wherever fuss he kicked up and found himself out of the team. For me, you get that opportunity to play in a position for Arsenal, your boyhood, love, dream, whatever, you take it. Any position.
Of course.
But he didn't take it. So for me, you ain't getting into that midfield. I'm sorry. I'm not saying you're a bad player, but you're not getting into that midfield. So I don't see where your future lies. At Arsenal.
You know, I think it's a good point you raised in regards to Maitland-Niles. I know I was hearing some whispers earlier on in the year about Maitland-Niles and potentially moving on. And there was one point where he wasn't in the squad, and it looked very odd how from one point he was playing really well under Arteta. Next minute he was out of the squad completely. Bellerin's back in, and we can't see hide nor hear of him, you know. But what I would say with Maitland-Niles, I think he would be the one that I would let go of as well. I think if you look at the value we could get for a player like that that's played the number of games that he's played for us, versatile enough to play right wing, right back and centre midfield, maybe not for a top 6 team, but for a mid-table team or a team that's coming up from the Championship, yeah. You know, I think we could easily get a 25 million for Maitland-Niles. Alex, agree or disagree? Are you going to stay on the fence? Catching splinters.
I'll agree. Yeah, no, you know what? Freddie made a good point. Bellerin's been looking shaky. He's been in the hospital room more than he's been in the training room. So, that, like you say, there's kids out there which get picked up. They might be strikers and they play left back. Like when
that's how it goes in the game.
Yeah.
And I don't want to pile in on Maitland-Niles, but I've had many a rant about that right back situation, because as an academy product and the amount of players that are dying to be in your position, fighting tooth and nail, training day in. Alex, you see it. We've all been down to the academy and seen training and seen how desperate. We've seen it in the grassroots, how hungry people are to get into that opportunity, and you get that blessing. And you say, oh, no, I play centre midfield. Brother, it's like the wild, wild west in the midfield right now. You don't want to be stepping into that portion. Leave that one alone. That's a bomb site. Anyway, I don't want to rant on. Like I said, I don't want to kill Maitland-Niles because he's an academy product and he's done well to make it as far as he has. But I do think the writing is on the wall for Mr. Maitland-Niles at some point. Yeah. Listen, guys, I want to slide the conversation on and start talking about how we rate players for their performances in this game.
Wow.
Yes. And what we'll do is we'll jump from Alex to Freddie, then back to Alex in regards to each individual player. Yeah, so you won't do every player. You'll do, we'll do, what would you say? One after the other, if you like.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we will start with is Alex. And we will start with Martinez as the resident goalkeeping expert and a compatriot of Martinez. Give us a lowdown on his performance and a rating.
You know what? As scared as I was, I think he played amazing, man. He stepped up to the plate. Distribution was impeccable.
There was one ball through to who was it? To Aubameyang?
Yeah.
And he should have squared it over to, I think, Nketiah. I think it was. It was a great, great ball. Great.
Yeah, you know what? Leno for me, but hands down, one of the best in the league. But Emi definitely a very good second choice. And based on his performance yesterday, I don't know if I'm being too kind, but I'd give him an 8. Clean sheet. You can't ask more from him. You can't ask for more.
Yeah, and do you know what? That's one thing I will say with Leno. I don't want to speak bad of a man that's on the injury table, but his distribution is sometimes it's a bit erratic. Still, it's not up there with the Edisons and the Allisons of this world. Let's be honest, you know. So it's nice to have that different element to your game, you know, with Martinez and the delivery. So Martinez, I'll take that. 8 out of 10. Freddie, we move on. Which of the centre backs would you like to take? I'll give you a choice.
Holding.
Yeah, that's the smart choice. Go and talk to me.
Like I said earlier, I think I liked his performance. And I think he was possibly man of the match. If not, Martinez not too far behind him, but I'll go for Holding. And out of 10, I'll give him an 8 as well. I'll give Holding an 8.
Yeah. Really solid, really compact. Some really good stats as well came out of the game about his clearances and his aerial duels. Yeah. So he did his job, man, as a centre back. Sometimes Arsenal centre backs forget to do the basics, you know. So good to see a performance like that. Alex, you're busy.
Which one?
One we shall not name. Mustafi.
Oh wow.
You know what? That whole right side during the game was weak.
Go on.
I don't know if it's Mustafi to blame alone. I'd throw Bellerin into the mix with him, personally speaking. But and I will say, you know, without Biggin holding up too much, it was one performance. He definitely made Mustafi look. He brought his performance up, but outlined how bad he really is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
But again, we got a clean sheet, so you know, I'd probably say, do we do halves?
Yeah. You can have a half. Go on, what are you giving him? Clean sheet as well. You got to take that into account.
5.5, 6.
5.5. Then we'll call it 5.5. That's for prior sins. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, if it's prior sins, don't give him no rating.
Brother, listen, I always say with Mustafi, I don't forgive and I don't forget. Never. Never. Honestly. All right. So listen, and a talking point. It's a good point. We will come on to we'll start with the left back. Freddie. Tierney. How you feeling?
Tierney, I think he played quite well, actually, to be fair. But from what I saw yesterday, we were playing a different formation.
Yeah.
Weren't he like a left-sided centre-back?
Yes, he was. And Saka was playing outside of him. Yeah, well spotted. Very good point.
And I think Tierney played well, to be fair. I think he was solid and, you know, distributed the ball quite well.
Yeah.
You know, covered space. So, do you know what? To be fair, Tierney, I'd give him a 7.
Yeah, fair score. And listen, I like the look of Tierney overall, you know. I think he's more the type of player that we need in our squad. Athletic, strong, you know, wants to drive forward, positive, you know. I like his energy, and he's got some speed down there and some delivery as well. He can whip a ball as well. So I do like Tierney overall. Alex, I've blessed you with the talking point of all talking points right now. Another one of your compatriots.
That one a bit more quiet than Emmy. You know what?
And we're going to come back to him, so you don't have to go into it, because we're going to come back to him. There's a whole wide conversation to be had on Bellerin, to be fair.
I like Bellerin. I've been watching him since that he was playing over at Barnet for the under 23s or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I do like him, but I think he's struggling. That right side it's always a vulnerability of ours.
So they always choose to attack down that side. Always.
And funnily enough, he's always 9 times out of 10 he's caught out of position. It's like his nose bleeds and he runs forward and forgets his defending duty.
Yeah.
But you said we're touching up on him again, so let me go to his.
Yeah. We're talking about the performance yesterday.
Overall, I didn't think he weren't his worst performance. But saying that, it weren't his best performance. So you know what? I'll give him a 6.
6 for Bellerin. Okay.
Interesting. Just clean sheet saving people. That's
clean sheet. To be fair. Okay. So we'll move into the midfield. And we'll go to Freddie and we'll talk about Xhaka.
Oh, my main man.
Your main guy, your Cody, your brother from another mother.
That's it. Do you know what? Seeing as we're giving halves, for his performance, I'll give him a 7.5. I'll give him a 7.5. Only because I feel he made a difference to the team.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he gave the rest of them confidence and
You know the funny thing is? You know the funny thing is, Freddie? I think tactically, his use of the ball in regards to his long-range passing is useful for Arteta. I think it was a shame that he got injured in the Man City game, because I think that was a big part of how we were gonna keep City at bay. Yes. And if you saw the starting lineup, the front three all had pace, and early on we were just dropping balls in behind, and it was all Xhaka, you know. So I give you that. He has got that. He does bring structure to the team. So 7.5. Okay. I don't forgive and I don't forget. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Band and shirts off and all of that. You guys, you forget too easy. You forget too easy. Anyway, let's move on.
It's desperation, man. It's desperation.
Yeah, I know. You know what, Alex? Do you want your compatriot again?
No.
You know what? I'm not gonna give him to you. I'm not. Let's keep it friendly and fair. And I'm gonna give you the young boy Saka. How you feeling about him? Because I'm gassed. I'll be honest.
Saka, mate.
So Freddie. Sorry, mate. I'm just bringing in Alex on that one on Saka.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can take Ceballos next. No stress. And you can come in on Saka as well, furthermore, if you like. But go on, Alex.
He's an exciting prospect. Listen, from Freddie's reaction there and from what you've been saying, he's got us excited. It's something to look forward to now. Like you say, bar his performance against City, again, it is against City, so we'll give him that. I think he's been one of our most consistent players. And it almost feels like, you know, your more senior players, they're comfortable passing the ball to the youngster. They trust in his ability to what he can do with the ball, and he ain't scared to go one-on-one against defenders. And I think that's what we're lacking a little bit of. You know, Xhaka that can sort of spray it anywhere we want, but then we need that one player that can draw in defenders to create that space and behind that. Yeah. So you know what? Without going any further, you know, if Freddie wants to say something, then.
But Alex, I need a score from you, man. We want to know about his performance against Southampton in particular, because he was playing in a position. And maybe I'll come back to you on your score and bring Freddie in to just have a chat about Saka in particular. His performance yesterday, a different position again, playing left of a free, in midfield, and it looked seamless. No, you tell me.
Versatile, mate.
The way he just adjusts to positions, like I just like his directness and you know, his composure on the ball. Like he is a breath of fresh air. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah. So like, you just can't knock him, man. Yeah.
And like I say, I think it shows a maturity in the boy that he's put in so many different positions and it still looks seamless and he still looks confident. And it shows a game intelligence as well, you know. You can't teach those type of things, you know. You either kind of have that or you don't. This is the thing.
18.
Saka, you got to sign the thing, man. Forget about Babiag. Babiag's old news. I'm throwing it out there. Come on. No, I'm playing a Babiag. Sign it as well, bro. Please. All right. So
I'll give him 7.5 as well.
Okay. 7.5. Freddie shout. Alex, you want to give us a shout on Saka as well?
No, I'll agree.
7.5. Perfect. Job done.
Like you say, just because he makes every position he plays in, it just looks so natural to him. But you've got to give it to him.
Yeah. So Freddie, I'll stay with you. Ceballos.
I don't know what this guy's doing. Like, does he want to play for Arsenal? Does he, you know?
I don't think he does, you know. I don't think he does. I don't.
For
But
a
you
guy,
know what? Let's focus in on his performance, because we're not trying to kill him overall. We're just trying to look at his performance against Southampton. Did he bring something to the team?
it was a poor performance. It was a poor performance. I see him give the ball away a few times. Just, yeah, he just didn't look right, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Honestly,
what are you going with?
5.5.
5.5. I
Yeah.
tend to agree, to be honest. Another one of those jack of all trades, master of none. Very loose with the ball. You can't be claiming to be your, I don't know, a deep line playmaker or a centre midfielder that keeps the team ticking, and you keep losing the ball as much as you do. I don't understand. I'm used to a certain standard with Spanish midfielders, and he's not meeting it at all. At all, Alex. Talk to me. No? Big history of quality centre midfielders come from Spain. Why did they send a Rebor? Why did they send this replica? What's going on? Ceballos, talk to me as our Spanish expert.
He is where he is because he's got the clubs he does on his football CV. If he was to have been brought up through the English football ranks, Peterborough, one of them sort of clubs. Like, he's just like you said. You get to that certain. You want that certain level from the players, and we just keep losing the ball for him. Like, that's not what we run for. And I'm hearing we've extended his loan. Like,
listen, I'll take the extension of the loan because that's just to the end of the season. So it is what it is. I think that's the lesser of the sins in regards to those 4 contracts. You know, and maybe we can talk about that in any other business. But we'll move it shuffle along quickly. And Alex, I think I'm staying with you, aren't I? And we are looking at. I'll give you Pepe, Nicolas Pepe. Tricky one to assess.
For me, I don't really think he brought much to the table yesterday. If I'm honest with you, it seemed like we didn't really use him. He was there. He was, ride along, just one of the players. I just think, you know what, for what we've paid for the man, he needs to be that guy that gets the ball and something magic comes out of him. And we've had it on a few occasions. Don't get me wrong, that last goal he scored, sensational. But we should be having, if not a goal, at least a few opportunities like that a game coming from him, which we haven't been.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to come back to you on Pepe. I am, because I want to challenge you on that. But what are you thinking in regards to his performance and his rating for Southampton?
I give him a 5.5, 6. For me, he didn't really put anything on the table for me personally.
Okay. All right. That's all good. Pepe, what I would argue with Pepe is that he has got Bellerin on his side. Yeah, a big part. And I wish we're running out of time because I wanted to really get into the Bellerin conversation. To be honest, I really did. But look who he's linking up with. You know,
that's a shout. That's a fair shout.
You know, it's all about combinations. You see it with Liverpool, their wingers and their wing backs, the way they work together, the way it's synchronicity, and we don't seem to have that on the right hand side.
Let me challenge you. Who was he playing with behind him at his last club?
In what sense?
He was still bringing the magic, and he was playing with someone worse than Bellerin.
Who knows? Who knows at this point in regards to Bellerin? Who knows? And this is the conversation. I tell you what, let's not get sidetracked because, like I said, if we do this quickly, we could get into Bellerin because I do want to have a chat about him, honestly. So we'll move on. Freddie, your compatriot, is that correct?
Mr. Nketiah. I think, do you know what? The boy's hungry.
Okay.
The boy's hungry, so he'll always give you 110%. And it showed when he got his goal.
Yeah.
So for his performance, from what I saw, I'd give him a 7.5 as well.
Yeah.
I'll give him a 7.5.
I think I'd even venture on 8 out of 10 because I think that goal was a game changer. especially after Aubameyang missing his opportunity, or the keeper saving Aubameyang's opportunity, should we say. I think it was a crucial goal at a crucial time. I think if you watch Arsenal, if we don't get that goal early on, we start to get rattled as the game goes on. We lose confidence in ourselves. So I think it was a big one for us. Alex, Aubameyang, short and sweet. Give it to me. What are you thinking?
You know what? From what I saw, he should have put that chance away. And that in that second half, the easy ball he had to put just across to, I think it was Eddie running onto it.
With your left foot now?
Let's not even get into
it. If we're coaching that,
Alex,
we're saying with your left foot, no?
Oh, 100%. 100%. He tried to 2-foot it to Nketiah. It was never working. I don't know what he was trying.
Terrible.
But yeah, I'd probably go for a 6, if I'm honest with you.
6?
Yeah, he's still looking dangerous. He's just last couple of games he's lacked that special touch that we need. So yeah,
cool. All right, so we'll just run through the subs nice and quickly. Freddie Willock, come on, look after him. He scored a goal. It's a crucial goal that sets us on the way to the win.
6.
Oh, that is harsh. All right, Alex, let's average it out with your score. What are you giving Willock? Freddie, killing the young boys. 7.
Yeah, 6.5.
So we call it 6.5. There you go, 6.5.
Okay, I'll meet you halfway then. I'll go 6.5 then.
There you go.
I'll give him that little half because he scored.
He scored, no? Come on, that's got to boost your ratings.
Rebound.
Kolasinac, Alex, what are we saying? Can we mark him? Or is it that's a flat 5 out of 10?
I personally, flat 5. I don't know if anyone else differs, but yeah, flat 5 for me.
Freddie, same again with Laka, flat 5?
Yeah. That's only because he had those 2 shots.
Yeah, the free kick that led to the second goal, fair point. And I think that is us, guys. Unless there was anyone else I'm missing now, I think that is it. Fantastic.
Maitland-Niles?
Maitland-Niles? Yes, he did. Apologies.
Exactly.
Maitland-Niles.
There you go.
In midfield as well. You're a bad guy.
You've even forgotten about him, so that's showing you.
Bad. He was on my list as well. I looked at him, anonymous. All right, so we're giving him a 5, yeah?
Yeah, go on then. Flat 5.
What was you? No. What was your score? Be honest. What was your score, Freddie? Was it a 4?
I said 4 because I even forgot about him. He came on, and I even forgot. I'm thinking, I see him walking off, and I'm thinking, was this guy on the pitch?
Jesus. All right, you know what? That will wrap us up in terms of the player ratings. Thank you, guys, for your honest opinions and your forthright views, especially on the young kids. Jesus, Freddie, you're killing them. No, so guys, listen, just aware of time, and we're gonna wrap up very soon, but I want your predictions for the next game, which is Sheffield United v Arsenal. Now let me just double check. I'm sure we are at home. Oh no, we're away. Does it matter without the fans? Who knows? But I want your score predictions, please. And we'll start with, go on then, Freddie. You seem ready, raring.
2-1 to Arsenal.
Freddie's gone with 2-1 to Arsenal. You want to throw out a scorer?
Oba and Laka.
All right. Alex, talk to me.
I'll go for a 3-1.
3-1?
Yeah.
Arsenal? Yeah. And what are you going for in terms of scorers? You don't have to name 3. You can name 1. All 3.
I'll name 3 that I'd like to see on there. Oba, Pepe, and Saka.
Pepe, Saka. Okay. Nice. I think it is going to be a very tight affair. Sheffield United have lost 2 games on the bounce. I think 3-0. that if you know anything about their manager, you know he's not going to stand for that for a third time in a row. They've got nothing to really battle for in the league, so they might as well go for the FA Cup. So I think it's going to be a tight affair. Like I say, 1-0 to the Arsenal, though. I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to go with an Eddie goal. Eddie is hungry. All right, perfect. All right, guys, we are just quickly going to touch on Ozil Watch. I'm not going to need more than... Oh, and that's the end of Ozil Watch, guys. Tune in again next week, and we'll give you updates on stats, goals, assists, the whole shebang. We did see Ozil in the crowds, feet up, with the... You're right there, Alex. What's happened there?
That's Ozil's heat map. It's just come up live.
Oh, okay. Zero. Zilch.
Wow.
No heat. Thanks for that, Alex. Great technicals there, mate. Listen, just before we go, guys, Freddie, you wanted to give a shout out to a particular player from Liverpool.
Well, Oxlade-Chamberlain, you know, he's made us a nice little 20 million.
Lovely, jubbly.
Because apparently it was in the contract. If Liverpool happen to win the league, then I think they'll give him a further payment of whatnot. So, you know, that could probably go towards Thomas Partey.
Mate, that's going towards the what is it, the LA Rams, the new stadium. Oh
yeah,
that'll pay for one of those screens, innit? Don't forget about that guy, Thomas Partey. Anyway, we can only hope. We can only hope. Listen, guys, I got to say a massive thank you for giving up your time again. What I will say is I will have you back on sometime soon, hopefully, if you've got the time. And hopefully we get a win against Sheffield United. Yeah? All right, chaps?
Up the Gooners, mate.
Yeah, up the Gooners. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that.
Thank you, man. Nice one, man.
Guys, this has been the Typical Arsenal Show. Thank you again. You've been here with your hosts, Ray, Alex, and Freddie, and we'll leave it there. Cheers.